Happy Friday, friends.
Happy Friday, guys.
It's my first time trying the sparkling water that Noah's so obsessed with.
Aha, baby. My favorite. Still trying to get sponsored by them.
I think one thing you need to tag them. You haven't tagged them in any of
Oh, yeah. Morgan's
Social
still
media
teaching
101.
me. Yeah, Morgan's still teaching me in the affiliate side of social media.
Yes, trying. So we are back today, this Friday happy hour, and we are chatting about unwritten rules of prison. A couple weeks ago, we talked about written rules of prison. Also have it in a blog post. You guys can go back and check that out. And today we're talking about the unwritten rules. So rules that you might not know, whether you're headed to prison, you know of a loved one already in there, trying to understand what they're going through to prepare for what's to come. So we hope this is valuable for you guys today. And kind of opens your eyes to new insight, because it did for me, learning about it through Noah.
So the written rules are what you would find in the handbook. It's what the prison or staff are expecting out of inmates. Where the unwritten rules are what the inmates expect out of inmates.
And things to do to keep yourself safe, to not get jumped, to not get hurt,
not get in
to
trouble,
not
not
get
get killed, raped, murdered.
Yeah, and he was sharing a story with me right before we hopped on here too of that situation, and it just makes my skin crawl and makes my stomach hurt, and I just cannot ever imagine. So yeah, I hope this helps. So kicking it off, and this again is a blog post. You guys we're not going to go through all the talking points, but just touch on a few.
Yeah, the first 4 rules are, if you're going to run into trouble for something, it's going to be in these first 4 rules on the blog post.
Yeah.
So kick it off. Rule number 1.
So number 1 is don't snitch, and this doesn't mean anything pre-trial. This means once you're in prison, just kind of staying in your own lane, sticking to your own business. Like Noah, you mentioned in the post. Yeah,
whether you cooperated or not on your case prior to prison, that's something you can work around. However, once you get in the prison, you definitely, even if you told before, stop telling, because
and it's for minor things, not for things where people are like in danger.
Yeah, if somebody's life's in danger, do what you have to do, because you're not gonna let someone die or get hurt or whatever. But if you see people with contraband, if you see someone at a camp using a cell phone, if you see a fight that happened, like, okay, these 2 guys got in an argument and they got in a fight, that's on them. Yeah. Whatever, they get in trouble, but don't be the one to go run out of the room and go alert the officers that this happened, because you do enough things like that and you'll be labeled and you'll be outcasted and you will have the loneliest prison time you can imagine. It's
kind of like with my kids, whenever they're fighting and start tattling on each other, I'm like, stop tattling, just figure it out for yourself.
Stop tattling. If you're just telling to tell, what are you doing? What are you getting out of it? Yeah. You're not going home any sooner, so stop.
Yeah.
And that's what people would joke about. They'd be like, I get why people tell on their case, because they're getting time off. But people are telling in here just like for fun. It's like...
Right. And Noah has a really good story. You guys will have to go read it. We're not going to dive into the details, but in a situation that he experienced and saw firsthand of when someone does snitch and what happened to them. So go check it out. Another rule is don't disrupt the order in the TV or weight room.
The TV room and the weight room are a sanctuary to an inmate. They have assigned seats. They have workout, we call them cars. They got these workout slots that we call cars that they've been going to for years. And when somebody moves in on that, it's like somebody moves in on someone's drug turf, or someone's hollering, like someone's talking to your girlfriend. No, and it's not written down. That's why it's so hard to know. Like, you just see this weight just sitting there, not being used for 30 minutes. So you're like, oh, common sense. Let's get in there and lift some weights. Right. Well, next thing you know, you got this guy threatening to kill you or beat your ass, and it's like, and early on, and you don't understand. You're like, why is this guy mad at me? Yeah. These seats are all wide open in the TV room. Why can't I sit right in this seat? Because you happen to sit in a psychopath seat. and you'll learn as you go. You'll start to make friends. You can sit in this seat during this show that you like. I mean, you'll figure it out. Eventually, you'll get your seat or you'll buy your seat.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah, buy your seat. That's interesting, which we'll kind of expand on that too. But another one that Noah, that really was eye-opening to me when he was incarcerated was just doors closed and knocking before you enter. He always said, like, if you see a door closed, you don't go in it. And that's something that once you're out of prison too, you might carry over without even realizing it, is things like that. So yeah, anything you want to expand on there for the knocking before you enter?
Yeah, so I mean, it's if it's your own room or cell, you don't have to knock before you go in. But if it's somebody else's, the respect thing to do is knock, and you knock lightly, because you can't just pound on the door because someone might be napping. But you need to knock to at least acknowledge. Because here's the deal: if a cop comes into your room, the cop is not going to knock. Mm-hmm. So if somebody's doing something in there and you just barge in, you've just scared the crap out of them. Oh. They're thinking, a cop's coming in. Hide whatever I'm doing. And now they see you, and now they're like, you dumb mother. So now they're pissed at you. So that can create conflict.
Yeah.
Next one, pay your bills. That's huge.
Yeah. And this is something, not bills like things that you owe, but to inmates. Because they all have their side hustles inside prison.
Yeah, exactly. If you're having someone clean your cell, pay them. If you gamble, pay the bookie. If you smoke cigarettes, pay who's ever bringing cigarettes in, because if you run up these bills and just don't pay them, out here you have debt collectors bugging you all the time. Well, in there you have somebody breathing down your neck and threatening to beat the crap out of you. Mm-hmm. And when you don't pay, either you go to the shoe and you check in and you sit in the hole and wait for months to leave the compound, or you get the crap beat out of you.
And when you did an article, this was a while ago, but how pay your bills before you leave.
Yeah.
Too. If you're getting out released from prison, and the last thing you want to do is get released from prison and not pay your debt inside to other inmates.
Because you most likely are leaving that debt for somebody. Whoever your best friend was in there is paying your bill when you leave. Don't be that piece of crap.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of other good rules that Noah has talked about too on the blog post, and then there's more that
the rest is just common sense. Yeah. Don't move into someone's bunk without permission. Don't use the same mop and broom that's designated for the bathroom in your cube or in your cell.
Cleaning and hygiene is huge for
them. Wash. They always say, wash your ass. You're a grown man. This is what everyone always says.
Woman.
You're a grown man or woman. We shouldn't have to tell you to take a shower every day, but
that was the only thing about Noah where he didn't like people in prison, or that you said it was people who just.
I just don't want to smell you. I can bunk with anybody, but if I'm on the top bunk and I can smell you just laying in bed, no, I'm good. I can't do that.
So he gets angry. But another thing that totally was fascinating, eye-opening to me when Noah went to prison, and he wrote this in another blog post as well, but just sticking with your own kind and your own race. And this isn't where Noah was per se, but it's more in the mediums and higher ups. But that was one thing that just totally blew my mind, and how inmates it's enforced, and then cops it's what'd you say, suggested, or they
the inmates enforce it, the cops accept it and allow it. And when I was at the low, I stuck to my own kind, because I was fresh in to a system I didn't know, to a system I feared, and the expectation was, if you're white, you hang out with white people. If you're black, you hang out with black people. I would mingle and shoot the shit with Slim and a couple of and Elbow and a couple other.
I love their nicknames.
Yeah, their nicknames.
Or for all of you guys, Noah has nicknames for everyone. And
everyone's that. But anyway, so I had black or Hispanic buddies that I would talk to, but I wasn't working out with them. I wasn't eating with them in the kitchen. I wasn't cooking meals with them or sitting out on the yard with them, because I was just like, okay, I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do. And then once I got to the camp, that loosened up. I started working out with Nick. I started eating with Mike in the mornings. And these are black guys. And it wasn't so, oh, what the heck's this guy doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be with them. Like, that's how it was at the higher ups. And at the camp, it got relaxed.
Yeah.
And you want to hang out with the black dude, my buddy Alonzo, who's Hispanic. Hung out with him. He was my ace deuce, as we call your best buddy. And so things loosen up. Yeah. So it's not like it's that all the way down, but in the higher ups, at the penitentiaries and the mediums,
Yeah. Crazy. Another one for the medium and higher ups was knock at the dinner table before you leave. I thought this was kind of an interesting one. And another one that Noah says that people will just do without thinking once you're released.
Yeah, I thought I worked that out at the camp. No, I worked that out at the camp. People weren't knocking on the dinner table at the camp. The reason for the whole knocking thing, supposedly, it was like Alcatraz or some penitentiary back in the day, or all penitentiaries back in the day. I'm not completely sure, but supposedly there was no talking at the dinner table, so that was how they would show their respect. That was how they would say, "See you later, nice eating with you,
Yep.
have a good meal," whatever they meant by it. But
Yeah, makes sense. I like it.
A lot of interesting stuff. A couple other things. They'd wear their boots to the shower. Take your boots off, put them out.
Yeah.
Put in your shower shoes, shower, just be ready. You always be ready.
Yeah, I was gonna
you
say,
take one
yeah.
pant leg out when you're taking a crap. You don't take a nap without someone looking out, because just because you didn't do something to piss off another group or gang doesn't mean somebody you run with doesn't, and that means you're all fair game.
Right. Or like Noah said in one of his stories within the blog post is sometimes people just want to leave prison, so they're going to do whatever it takes, or not prison, that compound, to get moved, to get transferred, and in order to get transferred, you need to get in trouble. And the easiest way to do that is to fight someone. So you could have done absolutely nothing wrong, and they're going to come fight you just because they want.
Chances are you did something wrong.
Okay.
Lieutenant Taffy did something wrong.
In the blog post, you can go check it out. But Noah has a great article. I hope you guys found this valuable. If you have any questions, comments, leave a comment below. We'll be sure to reply. And or if you guys have had any other experiences that you've dealt with or that you've heard, we'd love to hear those unwritten prison rules as well.
Absolutely.
And we hope you all have a great weekend, and we will be back next week.
Booyah.